So, 7 years ago, I was really into at-home spas. I was doing facials. I was doing steams. I was making lotion. I was really
Making lotion?
Oh, I was getting.
How do you make lotion?
I'll tell you all about that. It's a separate story. So, one day, my friend Sydney and I, Sydney was also another country bumpkin, were playing as 14-year-olds do in the forest, that we were witches. And we were escaping
You're pretending you're witches?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
An evil something or other. I don't know. But I know that in order to escape this thing that we created in our heads, which was very much real for us, we needed to scale these trees. And we're like, oh my god, this tree's perfect because it has another tree growing around it, and we can totally scale the tree that's growing around it to get to the part where this coniferous tree has limbs. So yeah, we're really getting up in there, like we're really like rubbing ourselves all up and down this tree. We're just like having like bear hug it. It's pretty tall too. We hang out up there for a little bit. We're just sitting in it, and we get back down. And then I get home back to my place, and I'm like, you know what? It's Sunday. I have school tomorrow. I need a spa night. Booked at my mom.
Really responsible for a 14-year-old.
Oh, you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this book with all of these different recipes that my mom had given me. And so that night I did this French technique called flowering, where you just basically put a bunch of flour in your hair. In these facials that I would do, it was a long process. I would wash my face. I would let my face mask sit on my face a little bit. And at the very end, I would do a steam. And the steam would just entail of me boiling a lot of water, filling up this like 5-gallon tin bucket we had, and then completely getting clad and standing over it with towels over me so all of the pores in my body would open. And I would just steam, so my pores were just open, steaming over it. And this one was like, I was really going hard. Like I just remember like I stayed for like a particularly long time, and I was really like breathing in really hard because I was trying to like clear my chest, like we're trying to get this steam in there, sweating. Anyways, la-di-da-di-da, I go to bed, and then I wake up in the morning, and I remember feeling kind of just like groggy, like that warm feeling in your face you get when you wake up in the morning and you're still tired. And I drove to school with my dad because my dad was a teacher. And so he's like, okay, like Ev comes in, like wakes me up. I'm like, oh, I feel really weird. I walk down my loft ladder and into the hall, and my dad turns on the lights in the hall and turns around and looks at me, and he's like, oh. And I was like, what? He's like, do you feel okay? And I was like, actually, I feel like really groggy, like my face, it's like hard to open my eyes. He's like, you should look at yourself in the mirror. And I look at myself in the mirror, and like my face is just expanded. It's like very circular, and my eyes are like really swollen, and my nose looks really weird. Like the skin between where like the crevices of your nose are like kind of filled with skin, and like I just look big, and like my skin looked really weird. Like it was red and like dry, but there was nothing on it. I was so confused, and he was like, you actually look really bad. You should probably stay home from school today. I don't know what this is. And I was like, I don't know what this is either. So like I'm awake at this point, hanging out. My mom gets up, she has the same reaction. She's like, oh my god, it looks scary. And then slowly throughout the day, it starts getting worse and worse and worse. And like my hands start getting really like itchy, but I don't have anything on my body. And like everything just starts getting kind of swollen, but particularly my face, it starts getting more and more swollen. And my mom's like worried that whatever's happening, A, should just already be checked out by a doctor, but also that like my throat would start swelling because like my face was getting really, really swollen and my ears were getting swollen, just like blowing up like a balloon. Then she was like, okay, we need to go to like the emergency room because this is like really concerning. And on our way to the emergency room, she got a call from Sydney's mom because Sydney was staying home from school because Sydney was covered head to toe in poison oak. And I was like, yeah, we climbed this tree. And then like, but my mom's like, but you don't have poison oak, like this isn't poison oak. And then I'm like, oh fuck. And we found out, like, uncovered it through the car ride to the emergency room, that because I did that steam, I took all the showers, I washed the oil off of my skin, but my pores had opened up and the oil had went into my pores and gone into my bloodstream through my pores, like a lot of it. So we went to the emergency room and they were like, holy fucking shit. And they're like, yeah, they gave me like a steroid shot and like a bunch of different shots and stuff, like a lot. And then prescribed me this steroid, like prednisone, that I needed to take. Like that night, the steroids also like make it difficult to sleep and make you really grumpy, and so I was just awake and miserable. And my only solace was The Notebook. I just watched that on repeat over the laptop. And then I only felt good when I was submerged in ice water. So I had this giant bucket of ice water on my bed, and I was just watching The Notebook like at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, and I just go under for as long as I could until I couldn't handle it anymore, and then I'd come up and I'd be I was just waterboarding myself all night long. And yeah, that's the great story of how I got internal poison oak. The best facial I've ever given myself.